I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The lyric scientist lab.
I used to sag. Did you ever sag your pants in high school?
I think, yeah, I did.
Yeah, no. Everybody sagged. Jared, were you a sagger?
Part of it.
Nah, I mean, I guess I did somewhat, but it wasn't like anything.
Now there was
crazy.
like forms of sagging.
But there were levels. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I actually used to, I used to think that like I was sagging my pants a lot, and then I'd run into people that like really.
Oh,
sagged their pants.
yeah, exactly.
I was like, damn,
No,
this is
dude.
not
Some
even that
people
bad.
like I would view sagging as a little bit of the cheek cupping. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like,
but there's some people like I remember this one dude. It was like basically at the fucking nape of his knee, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." It was like this area. And I was like,
So
yo,
like right there, like with the belt super tight, right? And then just like doing the little duck waddle and everything. And I know I'm not the trendiest person anymore, or I ever was. I was very trendy, Jared. I don't like the look on your face. I was hip, dude. I mean, I might be old now, a little decrepit, a little boring, according to Jared. But I was cool. All right, I had the kicks. I had the matching shirts with little glitter and shit on them. You know what I'm saying? I was hip. I was dope. I was straight up booty.
Ed Hardy
right?
was that Ed Hardy?
Yeah. There.
No, he was wearing long tees, looking like a fucking
Dude, I
a
did.
white Lil Wayne.
Dude, I had a white tall tee. Yeah. For a while, obviously, I was in high school when the tall tee thing was like hip. I had a tall tee that we used to buy, like the 3 or 4 XLs, like the super big ass baggy ones, dude. But it was a trend for a while, but I remember putting one on one time, and I was walking down the hall, and somebody told me I looked like Jesus just because it looked like a religious robe that I was wearing, like a gown and shit. Yeah, so I was cool, and then I just wear like old dusty Timberland boots now, and my Nats jerseys, and then that's about it.
No, I heard that, man.
Yeah,
I actually, which I'll talk about like the before and after, but yeah, now I just for peace of mind, like when it comes to clothes, like, cause I used to like sneakers a whole lot, and I still like them a lot, but it's like just for peace of mind, I just get like 4 like dark colored shoes because they just like go with everything, and then like when it gets like spring, I'll just get like something kind of like this.
I got you.
And then every year, like it'll like add to that, or like if I just beat up one of the like the all black shoes, and I'll buy a new pair. But basically, I only got to buy like 1 or 2 pairs a year. Instead of before, I was like, because there's so many cool ones, and you're like, damn, I want to get this one to match with, but it's just like dark color shoes. Yeah. And then I got like some gray New Balances, so it's like they just go with everything.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, man.
Peace of mind,
I was that guy in high
school.
school. I was that guy in high school that I would get my outfit ready the night before. I would iron. I would get my ironing board out. I would iron my clothes, leave them on my rocking chair.
The fuck happened?
Because I can.
I'm an adult now.
Yeah, you're supposed to be doing that still as an adult.
I mean, you go to the same job with the same people, and then they're all like, no, I don't know. No, but it's funny you say that. So it was like a year and some change ago, I went out to go buy my first pair of shoes in like 10 years. No bullshit.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about this at work the other day. So I went out, and I'm a very simple guy too, man. I like, white, black, gray, very simple. But when it comes to the shoe game, that's I don't like things that are like overly colorful. It's just not my style, or cramping my style.
Yeah. I just because I still like to dress like nice and all that stuff, but it's just like again the peace of mind aspect where it's like before I'm like, damn, I could get these red in this, and then get a fucking shirt or jersey that's red in this too. But if it's like I got 4 pairs of like dark color shoes, like some like Air Maxes, Air Force, stuff like that. Then I got gray New Balances, and then I got like when the spring comes around, like these are from last spring.
Yeah.
Spring comes around, I get another one like something light colored or like chill like this, and it just like adds on. But it's like I don't gotta buy more than 1 or 2 pairs of shoes a year for this to work, and then it's still like can be pretty fucking well dressed. You know what I'm saying? So
no.
It works out. You know what I mean?
I was looking just for a regular pair of Air Forces. That's it. Black. The most simplest common shoe, or one of the most common shoes. And I had to go to 4 different stores,
Yeah.
only to find out that I couldn't get black. I had to get white, so I ended up buying a pair of white ones. And I'm thinking the shoe is 30 years old.
Of course you did.
Yeah. This shoe is 30 years old.
Nobody else got it.
I know what you're getting at. Anyway, and it's like I go, why can't I find this shoe? So do you have a particular style of shoe you like, or do you have a hard time finding anything? Or
Well, when
anything?
it comes to the like that, I told you like the 4 black pairs of shoes that I get. One of them is always some black Air Forces, and
Yeah.
the other 3 are just like they can be like Air Maxes, they can be like fucking some black New Balances, just
Yeah.
like some
It's all
kind
about
of
the dunks, baby.
yeah.
There you go.
Any kind of just like I don't know, like that kind of just like that good shape.
Yeah.
It kind of just goes with a lot of shit, and then it's like a good like versatile shoe, like a running shoe, you know, some shit like that. And yeah, they just match with a lot of shit, and they kind of just like look grown up. You know what I'm saying? But I used to wear, so it's funny, like I still like wearing black, but I was like wearing all black because I was like way more depressed and shit. So now I'm trying to add a little bit more color.
Splash of color.
The splash of color
just a
to the
splash, just
dark
a bit.
world that
Yeah.
I live
Does
in.
that mean that I'm still depressed? Because I still wear a lot of black.
I mean, I don't know, it might be subconscious. But I learned, which is kind of something we can go into and stuff, but I learned, it's kind of crazy because like this is the first time I've ever seen a therapist in my whole life.
I'm a big proponent of it. I've done it. It's been a while, but I was doing it for probably a good 2 years, like recently.
Recently,
Yeah.
I literally had the first virtual session. Like,
I was going. Well,
unfortunately,
I was going before COVID.
before COVID. I was gonna say because that's what blew up
Yeah.
after COVID.
Then I started doing the virtual stuff.
Yeah, I tried hard to find.
I missed the in person. I mean, I guess it's the same. Either, well, it's no. There is a difference. I feel like there was like a weight lifted off, not off my shoulders, off my head.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to. That's real. Is I don't want to. You're gonna say
No. That's
No, by all means, go.
I don't think people realize until they go through it that like that's some real shit. Like it's like whoa, what? I should have just fucking got that shit rid of that shit a long time ago. But sometimes you don't realize what you're holding on to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
No, that's real. I always felt like something was like messed up, but I was just like convinced because of like just like my I don't know, like how I was raised and just like that kind of stuff, and just I'm not in other people's heads, so I don't know like how hard or how easy it is for them.
Yeah, of course.
So like I'll
tell you right now, it's not.
It's
a lot of people are just good at making it look like they're handling it well.
Well, yeah.
A lot of times they're just having the same fucked up shit, and sometimes there's some chemical imbalances. But
yeah,
for the most part, we're all fucked in the head. Like
yeah, we all have some sort of scarring, emotional damage.
This guy, I've been telling this guy to go fucking therapy for a minute. Like, and now you got a fucking laptop, you can do it virtually. Like he was saying,
it wasn't as bad as I thought, the virtual, because I thought it was gonna suck like virtual. But I think it's just if the therapist is good, because actually before. Like I never went again to like, but I think there was this one time that I went to like this evaluation, and it was like this younger lady, and she was horrible. She was just like, I don't know if this was true, if I'm just trying to make it into something funny.
Well, I will have something to that. When I first was looking, like I was in a fucking bad place.
Yeah.
And when I was looking, I was like, I don't want anybody my age or younger. I wanted somebody older.
And those,
race didn't really come into play at the time. I do that more for like my medical shit. Like that comes into play for me. Like I gotta have a black doctor. It sounds weird, but a black doctor will be able to understand
certain things, I guess,
better than
or
there might not be as much racial bias, subconscious or conscious, either way. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But as far as therapy goes, I didn't really care about the race. Kind of wanted a male because I wanted a male perspective. Because it was coming from like relationship shit.
Well, that man, you're hitting a lot of things on the head.
Like,
that's crazy.
If I'm talking to a woman again, there's going to be some implicit bias oh well, she blah 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 blah. This is whatever. This is just me in my head thinking maybe they're. I know they're not supposed to, but
I think no. I think you're right, but I think it's also like, for example, there was one lady that like there was this older lady, and I just don't think like she was like a good therapist, but I did feel like, all right, maybe a female wouldn't understand, but like the one I've only talked to her twice now, the newer one, and this is like she's not like maybe she's like late 50s or something, but she doesn't seem to be that biased because I kind of talked to her about what you've talked about, like relationship stuff too, and like she just seems to kind of like I think it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
But I think naturally like a male would like get it more, wouldn't feel triggered by anything you're saying, like, oh, maybe that's because of that, or you're not, but like I think if a woman is like equipped enough to like step back, and that can kind of play a part in like other aspects too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to like race and stuff too, depending, it can also too, because it's like someone could just be like, oh, I'm not, like I get it, someone has a different experience, whatever, stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, no, just to give an example is like I've always had this like eating problem. That's actually why it's like I'm pescatarian.
Okay.
And so I've always had this like eating problem where like I can't like eat, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be hungry as fuck and I just can't eat. And then I was like, that's why I stopped eating like beef and chicken, because it's like harder to take down.
Yeah.
So I thought like that's probably a part of it. But then like then I've heard like you got to drink a lot of water. It's like stomach acids. But like there's times it could just be a bowl of rice and salmon and I could be hungry as shit and I just can't eat. And now after that trip I told you about, which I'll go into, and I was talking to a therapist about that, and she was like, you were just anxious all the time. Just how fucked up is that? Like I was just always, and that's because now it's gone, by the way, because I haven't told you about it, but he knows because so I actually went to Norway.
Okay.
And I went to Ethiopia, and I've got like family in Norway.
Yeah.
And that's where like my dad died.
Okay, I got
That's
you.
like my dad's side of the family, and I saw my dad's grave there. And before that trip, like if I think about the shit that bothers me, like someone was like, "Oh, you think maybe like your dad?" I was like 2 when he died, so
Yeah.
If ever like I think about that type of stuff, I'll be like, man, I mean it's kind of sad, but poor guy, he died, and I didn't get to have a dad, but it doesn't really bother me that much because I don't remember shit. You know? What I mean?
No, I understand.
But when I went to the grave, I cried like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's
repressed
different.
shit, repressed shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
Shit you don't realize is there.
Yeah,
it's very deeply rooted in you. Like especially since I'm assuming it was your first visit there. And all that. So there's this level of anticipation, and with that does anxiousness comes from it. And he knows this about me too. I'm also a very anxious, or I can be a very anxious person.
No, you are a very anxious person.
Just kind of runs in my mom's side of the family. I can't help it sometimes. But I also understand the kind of correlation with the anxiousness is not having like a lack of appetite and things of that nature. Because when I'm like kind of worked up, so to speak, I'm kind of the same way. It's just like if I can't sit down and enjoy my food, like, and not be bothered, it's like at my job. Like, it's very hectic. It's very fast paced all day.
Yeah.
When you get a break, you got to kind of wolf your food down and then go back to what you're doing.
I hate that shit,
and
man. That's
I have
tough.
gotten so comfortable with just kind of going the whole day without taking my lunch break or whatever. And it's like I get home. Now I can relax. Now I can enjoy my food. Because the last thing I hate doing is, because eating is something you're supposed to enjoy. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to do anything other than enjoy your meal or whatever it is, even if it's peanuts or a steak, whatever the case may be.
Thinking about nothing else.
Yeah. And then it's like you're at your desk, you're taking a bite, and it's like, oh, thank God. And then you got like 10 people coming your way. You got to put your food down. And it ruins the experience. It's like, you know what? I don't want to go spend $20 on food I know I'm not going to go eat. And so I understand that I actually understand that very well. So so that's pretty dope, man. But that's cool that you got to go do that. And just get that experience.
Well, again, as part of like without leaving or traveling somewhere, you would not have even ever got that. I don't want to call it a breakthrough, but I mean that's basically what it was.
What it was, because I felt mad different. Like when I went to eat, like afterwards, like I felt different, but I was like, I don't trust this. It's probably a temporary feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
you don't trust, like, who is this new me type thing?
yeah. I was like, I don't believe this. I don't. And then
Well,
Yeah.
you felt a level of calmness, and it's funny when you get calm and you're not used to being calm and relaxed like that, it scares you. You're like, whoa, hold on. I'm not used to kind of letting my guard down. And all that. You're always,
it's crazy, man.
Let your guard down sometimes.
And I think
this is weird, Jared.
No, it's not weird. This is true.
Anyway,
man. No, it's crazy, and like even like as to like to the points y'all were making, just like even like a lot of stuff like bothers me less, and then that's kind of like why. So before I left, like I was not like sober, you know what I'm saying? Like I was not a sober person like at all, but afterwards, like, so I think it also showed though too, like I had because when I left, I was just there like surrounded by family, just all that stuff, but I was like, all right, I thought I was gonna have some withdrawal. I had no withdrawal at all, so it was like literally that was just always to like numb or some type of, you know what I mean? It was some type of, which I've told, like, even I was telling the therapist, she was like, damn, like, she was basically just trying to make it, like, me know how strong I am. Like, she was like, damn, like, that's crazy. All the little things I bring up and stuff like that. But even with comedy, man, because actually we can talk about last night. Last night's show was garbage. I just want to say that because listen, man, but the thing about comedy
Thanks for inviting me out, by the way.
No, I'm still talking to the dude, though. I'm still talking to him. Yeah, don't worry, I got you. But basically, like, last night's show was like, it wasn't a lot of people, but it just wasn't that good. But I felt like, damn, but it doesn't, even if I don't do well, like I don't attach as much as my self-worth to it. And I also don't, like, I just remember, like, damn, you just bodied, like, last 4 shows. Like, before, it could be, like, I could do really well, like, for 5 weeks and just, like, one show, and I'd be like, you're falling off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some weird crap.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but nah, it's just like.
Well, there's bumps in the road with everything.
Yeah.
Well, I think of it like, especially with comedy, I think of it like, since RJ did a horrible job of introducing him, this is Hamza Aberra, ladies and gentlemen. He's also a stand-up comedian. And
we just kind of jumped in,
He was like, "This is Hamza."
It's just his way of shaming me. That's all. It's just his.
I'm not shaming you. I'm fucking saying, like, some weeks you're good at your job, some weeks you're not.
Well, this is kind of going with his show that he said was awful.
Exactly.
Last night. So
exactly.
we all got to get it together.
Trust me, I
got to get it
but
together.
The thing is, though, just one thing, because I was talking to the bartender about that. One of the yo, by the way, man, this kind of this is ADHD, I guess, but like I think the one who runs it, I don't care if she hears this because I'm gonna say it. The lady who runs like the bar, like the club, I think she wants me, yo. And the reason I'm saying that, you know why I'm saying
He
this?
said, I don't care if she hears this.
Yeah, no, the reason I'm saying that is because she gives like a motherly vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she will literally like last week there was this like 11 out of 10 because I bodied last Saturday. It was like, and only like two comedians did well too. So you look even better when it's a bigger crowd and everyone's suffering.
Oh yeah,
just 2 guys kill. You look even better than if you just kill and everyone's killing, right? So she was like giving me. I saw her and I was like, man, I don't even approach women that hot, right? But she was giving me body language, like she wanted me to. So I approached her, got her like information, all this stuff. But anyway, as I'm talking to her, she says like, oh, someone at the place told me this and this and that. And I was like, first, it was a good thing because it was like, you're asking about me. You're curious about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of good. But then I was like, who? And then I asked her even yesterday, and she just seemed kind of guilty, changing the subject. Like, I got something. But she's always like doing this blocking thing. Like, I brought a girl one time, and she said something to her like, oh, he likes this other girl. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, just, and she does it enough now. Yeah. Because the first few times, I'm like, maybe she's just being like an annoying big sister. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? But like, she's done it enough times now. Where it's like even though, even there's a new bartender, not the one I was talking to, that like has given me like vibes that she kind of is interested. She's also seen me do well on stage, so that factors in. But she even like tells her like little things, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, stop. Like, now it's kind of annoying. You know what I'm saying? Before, at first, it was like, oh, your older sister. Kind of being a,
bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
I can see your hate from 10 planets.
That's away. Exactly what it is.
Yeah. I believe that now. Is what I'm saying.
You're right. There are.
And she's a good person, don't get me wrong, but it's just, it's at this point, it's like, you're just really trying to like stop me from succeeding with all these. You know what I mean? Like versus the first few times again where it was just like, my annoying big sister. She is cool because she's actually the person who like even that 24-minute that I have up and then like the special I shot that I'm trying to get, you to hopefully edit. Like the guy who runs the spot, like obviously like I'm tight with him and all that stuff and he knows I can do time. So he's let me shoot like, like extended times there. Cause that just shows you, man, nothing should be held for face value because I even, I was listening to a couple podcasts. I think Joe Rogan said it. I think I don't know what podcast he was on, but what's the dude, the young like Mexican dude who's like blowing up?
Ralph Barbosa.
Ralph Barbosa, yeah, they both said it on 2 separate occasions. Like, no one's gonna give you 30 minutes. I've
Who you it. Fucking well?
But I'm saying like it can happen depending on how you're
It depends on who you are.
But he said it like it's impossible. Like
early on, yeah. Like I'm at that stage right now where like I'm just having a hard time just getting stage time in general.
In general, yeah. I mean, I am outside of that's what I'm saying. We got to go outside of the area because what I wanted to say, kind of connecting it all in weird tangents and stuff like that. But like yesterday, the one thing about comedy is where someone can go far in is like obviously if in most places they kill, and then if their material's memorable. And the reason I say that is because there's some place in the country that like some like
will fuck with you no matter what.
Yeah, and then there's a place that like a slapsticky comedian. They're rare places. A slapsticky comedian with just like fart jokes, and then like he'll do better than like a Louis C.K. in these small. It's not a lot of places, but they exist, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but Louis out of like 1,000 rooms, like 975 rooms or 980 rooms, he'll do better than damn near everybody, right? But it's like there's these certain rooms that it's just. But yesterday, for example, I went up, didn't do that, and then the dude after me is like one of my favorite comedians in D.C. He's like really, really good. He's like a really strong, and he like basically bombed too. And I was like, dang, like he didn't even get.
What's his name? Who is this comedian that bombs?
I mean,
you can say who it is.
He's one, but I'm saying he's like also one of the best like in DC. I think so. Is Anwar Ray? I don't know if you've ever heard of
the
him.
name.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's a really talented comic. Because the reason I say that is because obviously he's got good material. Like I feel like I have really good material, but also one thing that I think he can do that I can also do is like he can bounce off of energy, which is like kind of separates you from just like you're reading a script. It's like you know how to like bounce off or alter the material for the moment or like go into a freestyle and jump back. Basically. Yeah, like he does that.
Crowd work.
First
stand-ups, it's crowd work.
For crowd. So he does that well. So I'm saying like, you know what I'm saying? It was just a weird crowd. But what I'm saying is like there's crowds where they exist though is what I'm saying. Like it's not common, but there's some crowd somewhere that, and it's funny because actually Louis C.K. had, is that going to, mentioning him, is that going to hurt?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Right. You know, I remember,
I'm a Louis.
He's one of my favorite.
I don't know
comedians.
if he's a Louis fan. I'm a Louis fan. Like that.
No, he's one of the best.
First of all, this show we're anti-cancel culture. So
just wanted to make sure because of the thing. I didn't want.
We don't give a shit
unless
you got canceled for some wild ass shit. Like what you did something like we said at the beginning, like not to say.
Yeah.
Then
or be like Vince McMahon shitting on people.
Oh yeah. Vince McMahon, he's gone.
Yeah,
he doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
That fucking guy. Have you seen the text messages?
No, believe it or not, I haven't read them yet.
I'm just joking. I know who he is. I was doing it because you said he doesn't exist.
True.
Yeah.
No, but I've just only heard like paraphrasing of what's in the text. Dude.
I watched Your Mom's House. That's another podcast. Thompson Gore and Christina P. They had the text messages on their show this past week.
What did he say?
Bro, he was saying some wild shit. He was like, I want 3 BBC guys to fuck you in all your holes, and like he was saying some wild shit.
Oh, like
dude,
he wanted.
Let me see if I can pull him up.
Yeah, pull up those racy Vince McMahon texts. And while Jared does that, please make sure that you check us out anywhere you get your podcasts.
Don't stop the flow. Keep going.
Apple Music, Spotify.
Yeah, keep going.
And YouTube on Monday at 9 a.m. for the visual.
Keep going.
But Vince McMahon has been he's got a lawsuit against him, and I believe he's being charged with human trafficking.
Damn.
As crazy as that sounds fucking crazy.
Well,
right?
if you read the text,
and
what the circumstances are, that is human trafficking.
Yeah, and so basically,
that's pretty crazy.
This is so big that the wrestling world that he basically helped create is erasing them from all existence of their product. And they always got to use the craziest looking photos.
I remember that though I actually remember that moment.
Yeah, no. It's Vince McMahon, and so we got some of these texts up here that he's sending employees that work for him, for his company, the wrestling company.
Oh my God.
And this spanned across years, and it involved other wrestling entertainment superstars, most notably from allegedly Brock Lesnar.
All right.
Wow.
I can't
I
can't zoom that far in.
Oh man, that stinks. It
won't let me go any farther.
Oh, that stinks. So you guys, if you can zoom in on that, look at all the little fucking eggplant emojis, dude.
There's several. I already know it's explicit.
Yeah. I can tell from
funny.
here that's something that is not meant for children.
Yeah.
Or anybody.
Funny,
Jared looks like he enhanced the post. Oh, I didn't do anything. Oh, that stinks.
That's not gonna let me.
You know,
maybe I can find another
This is
one.
random, but
He was saying some wild shit.
you guys know Rick Rubin, right?
Yeah.
He said that It's still weird to me, but it just made me think of it. He said that's all he watches, pro wrestling. Like he doesn't watch anything else.
Like this guy.
Interesting.
That's I find that even for me, and I'm a big wrestling fanatic, dude.
No, I mean I used to be like a big fan.
A lot of us used to be, but we grew up and fucking figured out that.
So I still think that he said figured out. No, that was the big moment for me when I found out it wasn't real. That kind of hurt. But I think also, the other thing that kind of because I know certain parts are still in me because like I just bought a Austin 316 shirt.
There
I
you
still
go.
like the iconicism and the energy from the certain wrestlers and stuff. And I used to do that when I was walking back home from school. Let you know what kind of area I lived in. I used to pick up glass bottles and like.
Yeah. I mean, if there is a shirt that screams badassery, it is the smoking skull of Steve Austin.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody anywhere on the planet Earth would ever knock you for wearing it. So, I mean, he's arguably the most popular superstar of all time.
He's.
I'm not saying big in terms of Hollywood like The Rock or Hulk Hogan, but
they switched over to acting, which is what made them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But from pure wrestling, he's definitely up there, yeah.
All right, so this is like later on in the well, I guess I didn't read that she had so I guess he said exactly, baby, he's not only the one blank called me this afternoon begging to eat you and fuck you.
Oh my God, man.
with his
probably shouldn't read these.
Nice
I can't.
And hard dick.
Do you see how that's in not parentheses, but
this guy's fucking weird, bro.
Probably shouldn't go too into these. Then my family can't enjoy.
I mean,
this
it's like perfect grammar he's using.
Well, I won't. This is a lighter. Trust me, this is a lighter one. Give me another week, baby, and I'll be ready. So this is after she had already done the shit. And I'm feeling more like myself. It's not great, but it's getting better. Whatever that means. Tell him soon. Jesus Christ. See, that's the human trafficking part. So he's just telling her like where to go, and then she's going to do it, and then basically she's reporting back to him, and it's so that like
that's scary, man. That's pretty crazy.
And it's crazy because
see, look, like he's creating schedules. I already told him, baby. By the way, Johnny, whoever Johnny is, wants Tuesday, but not this coming one. And the occasional Saturday, but Jesus Christ.
The occasional Saturday.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon, damn it.
Yeah, bro. Fuck that guy.
Dude, yeah, he's a fucking weird. This is dude, this is wild, man. This is why you're not supposed to meet your heroes sometimes.
Not supposed you didn't meet him. Luckily, you didn't meet him.
Yeah, no.
But this is what I was telling you, like, a couple weeks ago. Like, a lot of people who are, like, really hardcore into that shit, still to this day as adults, it might be some little bit of the fucking that trickle down effect. Like, oh, I look up to this person because this, that, and that. That might still be in there, like somewhere in their DNA, that they might just be secretly fucked up too.
I mean,
like you mean before they knew these things?
Yes,
and like
I think it's just part of the the ecosystem, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Like other parts of their personality, like gravitate.
Yeah.
Because of that. Interesting. I mean,
that's just my theory.
There seems like to be some validity in that.
Because if you think about people who are adult, like hardcore adult wrestling fans.
You mean just being wrestling fans? Damn, man. I thought you meant like that liked him specifically.
Oh, yeah, that too. Same thing. But it's the same thing. if you like him, you like wrestling. Like, there's no other reason to like Vince McMahon besides if you like wrestling. Like,
yeah, no, and as a wrestling fan, I agree with Jared. There's
What?
there's no other. There's really
I
no.
didn't do anything.
But yeah, no. If it's like I'm not a. It's like
RJ's trying to back out of being a fan.
I'm trying to
right
think
now.
who else I
I'm not
really
backing out of
like.
being
I
a
liked. I'm trying to think who else I
The
really
Rock,
like.
man.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say The Rock, Stone Cold. Yeah, the Texas Rattlesnake, The Rock. When we used to try to do the eyebrow.
yeah.
Yeah, those two. Let me see who else. I also liked Undertaker.
Yeah,
a lot. I like
he's my
Undertaker.
favorite.
Yeah,
He's
he
my
was.
favorite.
He was because I really felt like he was like undead. You know? What I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
Like, when
we
he
all
used to
thought
come-
he
Oh,
was
yeah.
undead
Yeah.
for
He
a
He was the
long
best
time.
character. That's why it was such a good character
Yeah,
because
like-
it was believable. Like,
Yeah.
especially as a kid, you didn't know any better.
Yeah, you were like, oh my
I
God.
will say
he's
that
back.
him and Kane being brothers was the biggest lie that I ever like. You know,
Believed,
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's worse than
I
finding
thought
out
they
that
were really
Santa,
brothers.
Yeah, no, that's I think worse than finding out that Santa Claus isn't real.
No,
yeah,
I don't know
I mean,
about that one.
I mean, that's a very big one. I mean,
It was
wrestling
big. It
fans
was
are,
big,
you know,
yeah.
maybe a
Fucking
dime
finding
a
out
dozen.
Santa Claus when I was a kid, finding out Santa Claus wasn't real was fucking traumatic.
Dude, it is pretty traumatizing. I remember when I found out too. Man, that shit sucks.
You know, it's
dude.
ingrained in our systems because even I sort of believed it, and I grew up Muslim, and I still kind of believed it. I was like,
Yeah, it's
is
just-
it true?
it's-
Because you know, in this country, growing up in this country,
Yeah.
like just all the films, and around that time of the year, it's like a warm time of the year. Like even my family talks about like holiday season.
Yeah, everything shuts the fuck down.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
no other country. Well, I guess a lot of countries do it. Well, no,
Depending on where,
I think it's reversed now
I think-
compared to back in the day.
I just think the holiday season is not as long of a stream because for us, it's literally like after Halloween until, or like building up to Halloween
Yeah.
until
The fucking
New Year's or
Yeah.
fucking
that.
Halloween and
It's not that long. Like you
it's-
go to Europe, they have like Germany or Norway, where I was just at.
they
Like
got
have,
Oktoberfest and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
they got that, or like they have like once it's like Christmas time, like that whole. But it isn't just like this long couple months where it's like the sales and the
Well,
constant. You know,
That's what
Yeah.
it's about here. It's about like how much money can we make this season
Yeah,
as
it's-
compared to
yeah,
last season.
It's the biggest marketing campaign of the year.
Of the
Really,
year.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly,
really,
yeah.
Black Friday. I mean, the
All
holiday,
that.
just everything that surrounds it. Yeah, the holidays. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got a name. The holidays.
I want to get back to comedy. Can we get back to
Yeah,
comedy?
yeah. Of course.
we're
'cause-
working our way in there somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
with the ADHD.
Yeah. Because I wanted to talk about, I don't know if I told you, like, did I tell you how San Diego went?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Last week we talked about it.
Oh.
Oh no! Well, we talked about when you were down in Texas, and I think the week before you talked about you went to that one club out in California,
Yeah,
that real
to
famous
the
place.
comedy store.
Yeah, the comedy store.
Yeah, I guess I didn't. I didn't talk to you guys about it.
Yeah, we kind of had like short combos, like at
Yeah.
you know, we was at the mic.
Because getting back to what you were saying about depending on the room, like when I was at La Jolla, like some of the shit that you've heard some of the shit I do. I do kind of, I don't want to call it edgy, but like I'm pushing the limits of what people can tolerate. Sometimes I think, but then sometimes I'm like maybe I shouldn't push so far. And I think that's what happened in Austin. But like I just went out there in San Diego and just did my shit. And they fucking loved it. And I'm thinking like, well, this is fucking California. Some of the shit I might say, they might not really fuck with, you know, because it's real liberal state.
They might be like, "Ew, get him off!"
But
you know.
they were eating the shit up, and I got up, like you said, I got off stage, and I was like, oh shit, like bro, let's go.
He was
I'm
radiating.
ready to keep going. And fucking,
He was the Kool-Aid man, but breaking through the wall, dude. That's
Pretty
exactly,
much.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
then-
exactly what you were doing.
and then so then a week later goes by. Well, no, I come back 2 days, and then I go back out Sunday, and I try to get on a couple other shows, like Waiting for Kill Tony. That's always a fucking process. And then you also before that you try to sign up to see if you can get on the open mic at the Mothership.
Yeah.
And they only picked 16 out of fucking however many people standing
Yeah.
outside lined up waiting.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But I already had Cap City the week before set up, which is another comedy club. It's not downtown; it's like outside. And I don't know if it was just the room was just huge. Like it was like I can't even think of how big the room. The Comedy Store wasn't as big, but it wasn't much smaller than this room. But this room had a balcony. The ceilings were high as fuck, but the only way to have that they kind of compensated for the ceilings being high was they had these like sound absorbing things right above the stage that kind of went up.
Oh,
Then
man.
you really couldn't tell. It still seemed like a big ass room, but the room was like a third of not even a third, maybe a quarter full. So like, and then nobody wanted to sit up front. Everybody's sitting toward the middle / back. So the lights in your face, you can't see anybody. So it's like, how am I supposed to interact with these people and like get the energy that I need from them when I'm 18th on the fucking lineup and then all these other Bama's
man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, man. It's openers, man. Are like how you open. It's crazy because it's like that first energy where they decide if they. But I just feel like, I just feel like though, just from going to, like I said, we're gonna do that. We're gonna travel and stuff. But I just feel like going to Philly, it just doesn't. DC, man. What I can say about DC is this: they're super PC, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing, which is like a really, really extremely like ridiculous thing. Like I didn't even think being PC could be. Anything could be more ridiculous than that. But it's even more ridiculous is if you say something they don't like, it's like they hate you the rest of the set.
Oh, yeah.
Versus if you go to Philly, you go to Boston, you go to New York, even if they don't laugh at the like one specific joke because it just wasn't funny or because it was like, that made me feel weird or whatever.
Because they understand comedy.
They understand comedy. So they're like, okay, what else you got? But here it's like it bothers. But it's a good workout because it helps you like recover from that, I guess.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just straight up like performing, like nobody's trying to deal with that stuff, man. It's like it's just corny. Like it's because again, like I literally did, like I told you, I did. We're gonna go out there, but I did 5 mics in Philly and then got some paid shows, man. 5 open mics, and then all the mics there too have like enough people to where you can tell
whether your shit is actually.
It's actually funny.
Yeah.
Because I got like I just went back to the old way I used to do it here, which is just. Again, there's stuff that I've just deaded, and I've only re-brought it up in my mind. Like, I'm on stage, and someone's talking about Green Bay Packers. There's this thing I thought of let me just say it now.
Well, that just comes with time of being.
But, like, I canceled it as a possibility of a joke is what I'm saying because I tried it enough here.
Got you.
And then, like, I'll say it again, like, in another place. Not because it's no longer in my notes. It's gone. Yeah. But I just remember it because it just applies to the moment.
Yeah.
And then it'll work. And I'm like, dang. But because of like, it's kind of a bad and good thing, but it's like, I just don't want to be, because I just got a bunch of material and stuff that I just have. What I do though, unfortunately, but it's like, it's like, if I do it at like 3 mics or 4 mics and it's new and like it doesn't hit, even if it's just a comedian mic or, like not a lot of people DC or it's PC or whatever, I do like throw it away, like at least from the notes, because I'm not trying to hang on to stuff.
Yeah.
Because doing that for me personally, I've noticed like it causes me to like want to talk about something, even if it's not funny. I'm like, well, I want to keep saying it or whatever. But it's like, for me, it's like it helps me get to, because I just produce a lot of material, so it helps me just get to the stuff that does work. But it doesn't in no way, shape, or form mean like that the thing isn't funny, because there's things that like have hit so many times at shows, but literally a whole week of just empty mics, just comedians, it didn't work. But this is shit that kills at shows. But I already know it works, so I'm like, I don't care what y'all think. But if it's new and I'm saying it like 3-4 times, I just throw it away. It's bad and good at the same time. So
yeah, I'm kind of like that. Like I'll do it 2 or 3 times, and if it doesn't work, depending on where I'm at, like if it doesn't work, then I'll be like, maybe it's not a strong joke. But at the same time, I'll keep it in my notes, because it may come a time where it's like I have something about, like I may say something that has nothing to do with it that would match up with that. So it's like putting a fucking big ass puzzle together.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think I know what you're saying.
And I've done that a few times. And like I still have jokes or bits, I should call them bits, because that I've started when I first started that I still use, but it's just morphed into something else completely over time.
No, I hear that, man.
The structure of what it was is still there, but how I'm saying it and what it's about may change it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I hear you, bro.
Let me ask you, man. It seems like you've been doing this for a while. Like, how long have you been just doing this stand-up stuff?
It's been like, so the first time I ever did comedy was like 2019.
Okay.
But I only did it like I did it like once a month for like 6 months.
Okay.
So it was like 6 times. Then COVID happened, and then I just didn't do it at all. And then near the end, I started hitting the street with the microphone. And then when like things started opening up, like 2021, like I was starting to like go to mics like every now and then, like maybe like once a week, once every 2 weeks. And then like when I got on like the grind of like doing mics like 5 times a week and doing shows, that's been like 3 years or almost 3 years. I would say that. Like
that's pretty dope, man. Do you have anybody like what kind of push you to it, I guess? Like you're like, you know, I mean, it had to be an idea in your brain for a while before you decided to say, hey, you know what, fuck it, let me go try this. Is there anybody that you like aspire to be like, or you have like influences like in terms of your favorite comics and things of that nature?
Well, definitely my favorite. So let me try to. So I'm trying to think of like the earliest feelings of comedy. So like some of the first people. Because there's people like how we just talked about like repressed stuff and
yeah, of course.
There's people. So I think really early, like I remember, like just like whether it was adults watching it or just like seeing it, or when I saw it later in life, I'm like I recognized this dude on stage. It was definitely like Richard Pryor, like George Carlin and stuff like that. And like Eddie Murphy,
of course.
Remember just him on stage with like the delirious, you know, like the
leather.
bright. I remember that, like that was like but I didn't necessarily like know what was going on.
Yeah.
It was just like deep in my subconscious. But I remember like seeing, like thinking Chris Rock like as an actor was funny.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing him like on stage with a mic and he's like making people laugh. I'm like, he's not acting right now. What is this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? I remember that, like being a little kid. And then
seeing him outside of what you're used to seeing,
which is like in movies and stuff like that. And I was like, he's kind of being funny or whatever. And then like same thing with Chappelle, like Chappelle for that for sure. Because actually, back when I first knew Chappelle, and even when they were ranking, that's the funny thing because now people are like, a lot of people are like Chappelle's the best. Like a lot of people say that. But I remember like back. Like when I was really young, and I remember like when the Chappelle show was out.
Yeah.
And then that was like the big thing, because Chappelle show was...
It was massive. It was very big for its time.
You got people still reenacting them, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I find myself doing voices from the show, like during stand-up sometimes. I'm like, fuck, I got to get rid of that.
Yeah. But I mean, no, don't, you know what I'm saying? Because that's actually, so one of the things, I mean, I'll get into that more after I, get off this subject, but like, one of the things, like, I'm open to listening to new comedians, but the only people, like, I listen to repeatedly are, like, my big, like, literally, because even though I know, I forget a lot of their jokes, and that's actually, like, a sign of how fucking funny they are, because I just seen Chewed Up by Louis C.K., like, 2 days ago, and I laughed, like, till I was, like, dying, and then it just shows you the level of quality of stand-up, because I just seen his, then I just seen Chappelle do like all this crowd work on like YouTube, and it was hilarious. Then I seen George Carlin. No, but I remember seeing the new Kevin James one, and just even like, no offense, like even like 15 minutes in, I was like, this is not like comparable.
Yeah.
But like you can even say maybe because I've heard their stuff before, or maybe it's because I'm just like enamored by them because they're supposed to be the best, like they have that title next to their name. But you can just, it's the quality. Like I'm hearing George Carlin, like the cleverness of it, and then the Kevin James one, I'm like, this is just material. No disrespect to, he's a great actor, I'm saying, but like, and I'm not saying he's a horrible stand-up comedian, I'm just saying like the comparing.
He was also kind of, I don't want to say out of it for a minute, but I don't think he wasn't doing it as steadily as, say, somebody like Louis C.K. He's always on the road. Or
Okay,
on stage,
okay,
you know
but I mean, if it's a special, I just compare it. I'm not saying a random set.
There's a bunch that I can't get. I try to watch a lot of the newer stuff that comes out, and sometimes I can't get through the whole thing. Like the Matt Rife one. I mean, he could be great for everybody out there, but
I don't know enough about him to say that he's like really bad or good, but I have some cousins that think he's good.
I watched.
I gotta check.
I couldn't get through it.
Like, okay, so
it just wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't my thing. Okay, next one.
But let's be
Shane
clear.
Gillis is another one for me that like I couldn't get through his.
Oh damn, for real? No, I'm actually, I like Shane Gillis though. I gotta say, because
a lot of people do, but
the 45-minute he had, and then you're saying you didn't like The Beautiful Dogs on Netflix.
That's the last one. Yeah.
I like that when he had the Trump. Abu Ali died like a dog.
I am a fucking big Mark Norman fan. I love Mark Norman. A little bit of Sam Morril. But yeah, Mark Norman, Tom Segura.
I like Tom Segura.
Yeah, I can get through all their shit. Like, it's just some people are just like, I'm not feeling
I
it.
hear you. Yeah. I mean, again, it's just I guess we're just talking about levels, but I mean, I think what I just meant was just, you could just instantly, like, I saw like 15 minutes of the Kevin James one, and I was like, man, I turned on some George Carlin, right? Because I got to just hear, and then, like, I just remember instantly, I was just like, the quality, and then what speaks more values is I've seen that George Carlin one like 20 times. It's not that I remember all the material, because it's like a minute before I watch it again. Yeah. But still, I remember some of it. You know what I'm saying?
Good bits you do remember. Like, the main one for Richard Pryor for me, it's kind of prop comedy, but it worked. Like, that shit when he says, I hear what the fuck y'all been saying about me. And he lights the match and he's like, this is Richard Pryor running down the street. That shit is fucking hilarious. All of his specials to me were funniest. I think my earliest, growing up, we always watched stand up. Like, my mom to this day has Richard Pryor albums.
Oh, damn, okay.
In her, and I was like, when I was still living there,
like
a
records,
few years ago,
like records,
like the records, and I was listening to them, like with the cover art, and they got the N word, the actual N word, the ER N word on there, and I'll listen to it. It's not the same as like his visual specials. I guess I'm a visual person, but it's Richard Pryor. But that, and then we used to watch Sinbad. Me and my cousins, like during the summer, like 2 summers in a row, we would watch one of Sinbad. I can't remember which one it was, but his special. I
liked Sinbad as a kid.
Every fucking day we'd watch that special, and we knew it word for word. Every mannerism that he did. Don't you run from me, like so that shit. We were big Eddie Murphy fans, obviously. Because my mom was the only one that could take me, and it was rated R, like Run Tell That, or like by Martin, saw that in the theater. So like I've been around the shit. It took me so long to realize like, I actually want to do this shit. It took some life changes to kind of trigger like, you know what? I need to get this shit off my chest.
Yeah.
Because somebody else may want to hear this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I'm like,
you might benefit from this.
Yeah, exactly.
By laughing. Yeah. Hopefully you laugh at it.
No, I think also when I'm thinking about like what led to me doing it, like I remember seeing like some documentary like as a teenager or something. It was like, I don't even know who the dude is if I see his face, but he was like a comedian that stopped doing it, and then it's like an older dude. I'm gonna find out who it is, but some older dude, and he was like wanted to just do a documentary about like what it takes and what people have to go through when they're doing comedy. And then I just remember like all these comedians talking about it and what they got to deal with, and they just felt like my
Was it the comedian?
I don't know who it is. I'm sure if you look up comedian documentaries, it'll come up. But it was like on like HBO. This is before the streaming era, but you could still record things, and I recorded it and just would watch it again and again. But I remember like feeling like comedians would be, because I never really felt like I fit in anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I know people say that, but like
that's most comedians.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Like I don't. But comedians, the thing that's interesting about comedians is like, and I don't say that I don't feel like I fit in with every comedian, but I just think one thing that's interesting or cool about comedians is I feel like comedians like so many different kinds of people, but they just have this one thing that's in common, and that's kind of like how they build like a tribe versus like whenever it's like a lot of other things like athletes, whatever, etc. Most of the time it's like we're alike in like a lot of ways. Like we're 90% the same.
Yeah.
But with comedy, it's like this one very big thing, like this self-expression, or gotta talk about your experience or whatever, but it could be from like different worlds.
Yeah.
And they kind of just all hang out and stuff like that, and and I think like that probably, like I felt like when I was watching that documentary, I was like, I feel like these people.
Was it the comedian with Jerry Seinfeld?
No, it wasn't. I mean, Jerry Seinfeld might have been in it, but he was like, because he interviewed many people. He even interviewed Tommy Davidson in it. So it wasn't like, but the main guy was not Jerry Seinfeld for sure. It wasn't definitely wasn't him, but I think they like there's a small. Again, he interviews many people, but that and then from the time I started doing it, so was the time. That's funny we're talking about the show Louis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like that show a lot, and like that time I was at Temple. I was going to college in Temple in Philly, and like I just remember I was like, man, like,
Is that where you're originally from? Philadelphia?
well, I lived there till I was like 10.
Okay.
And then I moved to this area.
Okay,
So
I
and then I went back to go to college. So
All right.
Is it I Am a Comic?
I definitely don't remember the name, but it's some older comic, and he's maybe it's
Ross Schneider, Carlos Mencia. Sarah
Carlos
Silverman.
Mencia was in it.
Yeah, so
She
Sarah,
was in it.
Sarah Silverman.
She was in it too.
Yeah, this is it.
This
Tim
probably it.
Allen, Tommy Davidson.
Tommy Davidson. Okay, yeah. So this is probably it.
So yeah, the I am a comic.
I am.
I'm gonna have to check
okay.
this out.
Okay. Yeah. Now that it was, but yeah, the time when I was like, yo, I gotta do this, man, because that's the thing. The first time is like the really, really, the hard one. But I respect people that actually, because I've heard like Hannibal Buress, also another one of my biggest influences. He talked about like how like basically, damn, what was I can't even remember what I was talking about. Kind of just went blank.
Man, you made me forget. You were saying about what was the last person you said?
I said Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress. Now he's a rapper now.
Yeah, it's crazy. He still comes back and does
Yeah.
randomly, but it's funny how you just let that
I
go.
just need this for my rap career.
Yeah.
No, that's seriously what his promotion was on one of it. He was, I'm just doing this for my rap career. Right
Also,
now.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
Well,
that's
one of my-
sounds genius to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can just name them right now, like biggest influences for me, like in no order, but just like these are just the big ones like that. I still listen to them, and they influence my style like crazy. There's definitely had Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Louis C.K., Hannibal Buress, Donnell Rawlings. Damn, I don't want to. I think that's like the main ones I like a lot, but this is like a second category.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Those are definitely like the main
Yeah.
ones. Like those second category is weird, but it's because he had a special that. And actually, this reminds me when we talked about his special was big for me. So that's why, even though I don't even feel like I listen to him a lot anymore or anything, but he had a special, and I remember watching this, and it just felt like he was hitting points, and I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Tom Papa.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
don't. It's weird because it's weird to see, Tom
I know which
Papa?
one you're talking about too.
It
He
was
was
live
like
in New
everything's
York
gonna
City.
everything's
Live.
gonna be okay. Is that the name of it?
I don't. I think it's live in New York City, but it's like 20. It was on like Comedy Central,
Because that's the older one. Yeah.
but I hadn't seen all. Like I've seen all of it more recently.
hmm
But I think actually it might have, because I think I remember now watching live in New York City, and I'm like, where did that material go? So I think he recycled some.
Oh yeah.
So I think
that was because the one I'm talking about was
shorter. Was it shorter?
No, it was longer. It was his
Oh.
Netflix one.
Oh no! This was before Netflix, but I remember seeing this on Comedy Central, and I was
Yeah.
like, yo, he's hitting a lot of, because I remember he had this joke even where he was basically saying like, you know, like you don't realize how weird you are. Like as a kid, like everyone loves you in your house. The cat loves you, your family loves you. Then you go to school for the first day, and they're like, "Why does your eye do that?"
Yeah.
And it's like, what's wrong with me? You know? What I'm
no
saying?
bullshit. That is a very big,
Well, like, as a kid, I was like, "What the?" Like he made me feel the same way that like much greater comedians
But that
made me feel, like Carlin and Pryor and stuff.
that's the
Even
thing
though-
with Tom Papa's style. He is like he points out shit that like he's like a Seinfeld, but like
it's much deeper.
Yeah.
Like Carlin,
Yeah.
and that even not even trying to, but again, ADHD. I just saw Louis C.K. So most people don't know. Thank God that he didn't. But Louis C.K. is an interesting comedian. I mean, he's obviously one of my favorites. But something else interesting about him is he wasn't naturally, like I just said right now. The first time I did it, I killed. I absolutely killed. So I was like, I got to keep going.
Yeah.
But it must be tough to be like, I'm gonna keep doing this. And Louis said he kept going, and he said he was like 15 years in or something, and he was like, yo, like I'm horrible, but like,
I think that about myself every fucking day.
15 years in, but he was like, I'm too deep in. I've already given too much of my
Yeah,
life to
you can't quit at that
You know,
point.
he
Yeah,
said he can't.
no.
And he said that there was an hour that he worked on for like a decade, which is like, whew, that's like, I can feel it because since we're comedians, like I can feel the dread from what he's saying. But he said that was the big point, is like, so this hour that he worked on for so many years, and he was just crying in his car, and he was like, everything is a failure, you know what I'm saying? But he remembered, and he's talking, this is like a George Carlin like tribute he was doing. He was talking about him. It wasn't even meant to be funny. It was just like him talking about how much he respects George Carlin, whatever. He was saying like that he was like, my life is meaningless. Like I've given so much to this and nothing comes from it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just finding it funny as a comedian, but it's so dark. But he was saying that he didn't understand how Carlin could just keep making specials all the time.
Yeah.
And he said it hit him because he learned, I think either he heard George Carlin say it or something, but he said, just go deeper. Because like in comedy, there's even to this day, I have this thing is like, there's times, and not being, you know, kind of helped with that. But like, it's really like, damn, would you dare talk about that on stage?
Yeah.
But if you do go there, you get people's attention because they're like, yo, I could never say that, but I didn't even think other people felt like that.
Yeah.
And like, so once he learned to do that is when he said like, then he'd keep going deeper and deeper. And that's how he'd able to produce so much good material. And that was like, before it was always just polishing like what he thinks people want to hear versus like, I'm just going to keep going uncomfortable in this place, because not to be an asshole or to be weird, but more so to try to connect with people on just like this very deep level. You know what I'm trying to say?
Level,
basically saying the thing out loud that people are thinking in their head.
In their yeah, exactly. And he said, it's funny, he said, yeah, you just keep going deeper and deeper in life. And somewhere in there, your balls get mentioned, right? He was like, somewhere in there.
But this goes back to what we were saying about how, like, my ADHD just kicked in. How we were talking about not, oh yeah, fuck. I just fucking had it.
Brain fart.
What did you just say?
I was talking about the influences going deeper.
Going deeper, and then
before that, the influences, when I was talking about Tom Papa and how he.
Fuck, I lost it. I made the connection, then it fucking run away real quick. But basically, we were talking about something earlier where it was, how people are all think the same. Like, they are able to mask it better. Like, we're the ones who take off our mask
and say
show other people what is behind their mask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a fucking trippy thing if you think about it, because that's psychology. It's like,
it's weird. It's really weird. Yeah,
you're thinking your own psychology is basically everybody else's psychology. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think like, I mean, I think that even a part of me like feeling down was like me saying, it's kind of like, you know, I'm getting a little personal and stuff, but like I think what kind of made me feel like bad was like I kind of said like, all right, well, everything I do is just me being realer than everybody. But then I kind of felt like, all right, well, so for example, like if I had to deal with some shit with somebody giving me shit or whatever, I'd just be like, all right, well, you know, they're just like hating because I'm being real, or they're trying to like project themselves.
Yeah.
But then I kind of felt like, all right, well, what kind of, I mean, it's just like a societal pressure thing, but it kind of would even suck with like, you know, someone you feel like you really connect with, but you can tell like because of their like pressures, they're like, well, I need this kind of guy.
Yeah.
Even though you can tell like they genuinely connect with you, but it's their own feeling of like, you know, it's their loss in the end.
Yeah.
But it feels like,
that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We're talking to you. You know what I'm saying? You know who you
Yeah,
are.
forget about it.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
When we blow up, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck just happened?
But I'm saying though, is what I'm trying to say is basically just like you feel like, because that's what they say. They say that even a person who is like, man, fuck everybody, I don't care, you still need like your tribe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need somebody.
You need somebody, you know what I'm saying? So if you feel like everybody is like, wow, I can't get that close to you or whatever like that, then it's just like, it's a very lonely feeling, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, but then I said, you know, that's another thing that kind of showed me though, like going overseas and stuff too, is like, man, it's just like we are, and to some extent, it's like there is like a mass insanity that's going on with like in just a lot of things in the world, but even in the Western world especially, where it's like, that's what I'm saying, when you go over there, you realize, like even me, like being a nice person, I started to feel like, dang, it's something wrong with me. Like but nah, like just a lot of people suck. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really. You fall into it if you fall into it, and you go, all right, well, this is how I gotta do. And it's something funny I always say to my cousins. You even see people like I'm from Eritrea originally, right next to Ethiopia, and like I've met there's a lot of Ethiopians, Eritreans in this area, of course.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's like we knew,
we knew.
We know who you are.
Exactly. Look in the camera again. But basically, what I'm saying is, like, I've even met people, I always say to my cousin, you even meet people that still got the accent, meaning they just got here, and then they succumb to, like, the shark mentality, like, I got to win in this world. But that's like, your fault still if you do that. Even though if you feel like that's what you got to do to survive, that's still your fault because, like, I grew up out here and I never fell into it. Even when I was, like, down about it, it was only because I was like, man.
You mean by taking somebody else down, or you just mean, because I have that.
Yeah, like taking somebody else down,
okay,
or like
to
or
get
like
to where you want to be. You taking
step
somebody
on people's toes, or like
gotcha.
or because it's like the way it's like that corporate mindset, whatever. But
I've
it's
been
like
thinking a lot about that recently, by the way.
But you can't. I'm saying like you will feel in your head, like you literally get convinced, and that will even happen toward, like, even though we kind of jump from this subject, but that will even happen in a sense of like with like a relationship with like the opposite sex or whatever. Be like, all right, well, I like this person, but this is not what society's saying I'm supposed to have to win, or I'm not supposed to get this, like, I'm supposed to be with this type of bad boy or whatever.
You going deep now, buddy.
Yeah, but it's real though, because going over there showed me that even more.
I'm smoking some more shit. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it went even, because it's like, all right, you see people over there that they're not brainwashed by it. So you're like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are just healthy people that aren't like messed up by, but it's also like, you just also see like, dang, you know what I'm saying? They can do that to themselves. It's like their loss, you know what I'm saying, in the end. And like, you can't really, that's just how it is, man. You got to just understand that, and just, it's like, that's just how you just got to understand. Just try to be the best you that you can be, you know what I'm saying? And just, it's kind of crazy to think that, especially like as adults, but it's still like, it's there, the brainwashing or whatever. But it's like, again, they're cutting off their own happiness, and you just gotta like go your own.
What they're doing is they're cutting off their own growth. You were saying, even as adults, some people, they look like adults, but they're not adults.
Mentally,
they're still fucking children, and they're gonna go throughout life the same way because they just never grew past that certain stage of development where it's like, okay, I'm not supposed to be bullying people every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm not supposed to, I don't know, shit on somebody else just because they don't have what I have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
it is. And yeah, that's real, man. And it's like another thing too, though, that kind of also, when I came back though, that made me think like, so one thing that like my cousins in Norway would love to do is they'd love to like just shit on everything about America. And I get America. I definitely get like the shit the government does. Like I think that shit's all evil.
I think we're all on the same page.
But when
there's nothing more American than hating your own government.
I
mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I used to have on my Facebook page before give me 1 second, before they fucking made a bunch of changes and now it's super corporate. They used to say, I love my country, but I'm scared to death of my government. And I had that shit on as soon as you open my profile, that's what it fucking said on my shit.
Yeah,
this got Jared with the fucking sunglasses on and the 9. And
pretty much.
That part like makes sense but I just didn't like, so what they do is they try to act like there's nothing dope that comes out of here. And then they were so influenced. Like, they listened to our music, so much stuff. And they made some good points, but again, one thing that even, like, when I got back, I told you, like, there's a bunch of people here with that cold mentality, but there's also, like, just a lot of great people.
Yeah.
Like, I was in the street. I was driving, and the, like, damn left turn signal? Like, you know how you got to be on the thing for it to sometimes turn green?
Yeah.
Sensor? There's, like, a guy that turns down the window, gives me, like, a whole, like, infomercial about it. Like, by the way, if you do it, I'm like, that's a nice-ass person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of, like, nice Americans. Like, that's the only problem. That's the only thing I didn't like is when they tried to say, like, there aren't. Because there's some good-ass people here, man. Like, there is this, like, warmness in Americans that,
depends on where you're at.
Where you're at. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly, because it depends on where you're at.
I was down south. Every time I go to Texas, like I'm so used to like again the brainwashing of
Texas?
everybody being here. I'm so used to everybody being like to themselves and about themselves. When you go down there, people like will say hi to you, like for no, like oh shit, oh my bad, I'm supposed to be a nice, like
yeah,
you know
exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying like, or maybe you would have said like the stereotype of like Texas or the South or Alabama. Like there's some people they're just fucking warm as shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Most of the
like,
South is like that. Every time Georgia, I go down there, it's like Alabama is down. Even though they have their racist towns or whatever.
But I'm saying no, that's another reason why I'm even bringing that up because
I don't fuck with Tennessee.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I go down there, people still nice as fuck to me. A lot of people. So I'm like, yo, this is like I want to show my cousins this shit right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like I'm literally actually I think I have a joke. I've said a joke about that before. I'm like, yeah, I'm their worst nightmare coming down there. You know what I'm saying? Going down to the south. But there's like nice ass people.
Oh yeah,
They're nice as shit. Like, and they'll be from like small towns, not even from like Austin or Houston, like a big city, like smaller.
Austin's
town.
kind of small.
I mean,
far
but
as
it's also
population,
like considered like
It's growing now though.
But isn't it considered like the more?
It's the
like,
capital. It's the capital of Texas, but it's
capital.
yeah. It's
Oh, damn, I didn't know
smaller. It's smaller than you would expect. I mean, it's growing because
I guess I mean it's a
Like-
city, and just like you'd expect people
It's
to
not-
be more tolerant or there. But I'm
let's put it
saying
this way,
places that
it's not like Dallas. Like Dallas is like a big ass. Like that's a city. That's
That's a
like
city,
That's
okay.
like DC
The big-
or Houston is fucking like DC.
yeah.
Austin is probably about half of those two.
Like those type of cities.
Yeah.
All right, okay, yeah. So that's basically what I mean is just like you get. There's a lot of really cold people, but there's also like a lot of nice people. But I think one thing for me is, and I'm just gonna say it because it's true, man. Is I realize that from even going back to Philly or going to New York or even going like though I think like those cities are even because I feel like in DC, I think like maybe it's like the politics or I don't know whatever. And I remember, you know what's crazy?
Politics.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Damn, man, I remember even a dude from like Oklahoma City or something and a bunch because I used to do Uber. And I remember him saying that about here and a bunch of other people saying that. And I just thought like he's just hating on the big city or whatever. Nah, he's right. It's like because even when I went to New York, which is like the big city, at least they have like this people from all over, which they have, but it's like they don't assimilate the same way they do here. Like how I just said, like a Ethiopian person will come from Ethiopia. They'll be here for a couple months and still got the accent, meaning I'm saying they just got here, but they're like, I have to be this way in order to succeed. But like I met people in other places, and I'm not saying you don't find the same kind of, but it's like
New York definitely. That's one of my least favorite cities in the country, by the way.
New York.
Yeah,
but I'm
fucking
saying
hate
I think New
I'll
York.
go there, but I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I don't think that, like, I don't know if I could, like, live there, but I think I like it better than D.C., man, because something about D.C., like, I don't know, man, it's just, like, there's a way where I felt, which is even a part of what I said, like, before I left, how I was, like, feeling about.
Do you feel people don't blend?
I just think people, like, especially in D.C., the city itself, but I just feel like you find more, like, how I just said the thing about, like, all right, you'll find, like, a girl that'll feel like I gotta be this way or I gotta be with this. Like I feel like you'll find people that will be able to just be like, no, like I like this person. I'm be in like Chicago or something versus DC.
Okay,
Like I don't know if
that's
that.
what I get what you're saying. I kind of feel that same way because like sometimes it's like I don't know, me personally, it's kind of I won't say recently,
Yeah.
but it's like I meet somebody, and then I'll be like, oh, like is she looking for something else or not? What's the word? Does she have an ulterior motive behind liking me?
Yeah, man. It's
Or
crazy. It's
is
crazy.
is it genuine and I'm just being paranoid because of the people from my past that is like so I guess yeah. I don't know. I guess,
No,
I
no,
guess
no,
that's my own
I-
trust issues.
Yeah.
But
I-
if you've been burnt enough by the motherfuckers around here, like we're saying, a
You
lot
start
of them
to
are the
think
same
that,
way.
yeah.
You start
Yeah.
to think that that's everybody's out to get you.
It's
and
weird, man. It's even Miami,
Damn,
which is
dude,
crazy.
What is this place?
Yeah,
It's fucking. This is why I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
I'm telling even
Burn
my
it to the ground. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
even Miami, which
good.
you would think is a more like.
Oh no, that's fucking. That's like L.A. That's like Plastic Town.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying like I would even I think it is, but I'm saying I've even had better experiences there than DC. How crazy is that? Meaning what? Meaning what I mean to say is that, like, there's girls that I still am in contact with that I just went
okay.
on, like, that I'm still, like, every time they come to DC or New York or whatever, like, I still, like, hang out with them, everything. And I was so, like, what you just said, it's funny you said that. Something funny, comedy. I remember, like, actually it was because I was there for some shows. So I went there, and I remember I met this one girl, and when I was with her, I'm always it's kind of what you just said, the ulterior motive thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I didn't meet her at a show. Like, I met her just, like, at a spot, like a, you know, like a club or whatever. And I remember asking her when I was at her spot, like, what did you like about me? You know, because I'm like, look at all these tall, handsome men. And I didn't say that. I didn't say that part, but I was thinking that.
That's all right, man. If there's a tall, handsome guy, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, why?
I got you, bro.
Why did
Don't
you?
worry.
And even the person I was with, my friend, he was even like, yeah, I tried to talk to her, but like at the end of the night, you know, when you just text everybody, I texted her like my name when I'm leaving the spot, and she's like, what are you doing now? And I'm like, going back. And she was like, oh, let me come. And like I went from my spot to her spot, like eventually. But I'm saying, I remember asking, it's pretty funny. She said, I just sense no danger. You just seem like a nice, chill guy. You know what I mean?
Well,
but I'm saying here, that's like a negative.
I believe in that.
That's
type
a
of-
negative. That's a negative.
I no, but I believe in that. But that's exactly what I was saying. That is like that.
That's a negative out here, man. I'm telling you, it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a weakness.
to be a
It is,
nice
it
person.
is.
It's
yeah.
a weakness. And it's not even like
But
weak. It's
people-
like just chill. Not even trying to play that weird just game the whole time. Because there's girls that I've met even from comedy.
Yeah.
And like literally, like, you know, on stage you're just a confidence essence to you. You're the center of attention. You're like doing something. So it's not even like, oh, they don't think that person lacks the ability to be that way.
I got that from another female comedian. Like, it was after a show. I don't know if she hosted that night or she was just on the show. But she was like, can you give me a ride home? Because she lived in D.C. So, you know, people in D.C. don't have cars. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give you a ride home. And she was like, do you want anything? And I was like, no, I'm good. She, somehow money came up, and I was like, nah, I'm going home anyway. Like, I'm going to go past work. I don't care about that. Oh, you're one of the good ones. I'm like, okay. I didn't think about it till later what she meant. Like, oh, like being in the comedian world, like, oh, motherfuckers would probably be trying to been doing all kinds of wild shit.
But the
Some
thing,
Vince McMahon shit.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon, yeah, callback, nice.
BBC.
Yeah. The interest.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
One thing that's really complex about it, though, and this is kind of crazy, and you know, I don't even like subscribe to like a lot of like not all of it, because like, you know, everybody has their own views and opinions about things, but like one thing that's really interesting about it is, I mean, again, that you going overseas and meeting like really like people that are just good with themselves, like up here, or just aren't tainted or whatever. Like, one thing that's kind of interesting is you'll even meet people who are like, right now, I'm not attacking females, but in this specific thing I'm talking about, you'll even meet girls who are like nice, like they're good quality people, but like there's a part of them that's like feels like they have to fit in. So then it's like, even though they're nice, that's only like a piece of them being nice. But there's like another, like there's like genuinely super nice girls that like, but once you're nice back to them, it's a turnoff.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you think how they are.
That shit is all over TikTok.
You see what I'm saying? You think how they are, though. You think like, all right, this is a person I can be genuine with or whatever. But the point is like, that will have you thinking there's something wrong with you, because you're thinking, she's cool, but I'm operating weird because I'm not able to like not smile enough or whatever. No, she's also screwed up. But like, you just have to remember, like, there's a piece of her, like, there's quite like, there's even, not even saying that the people I'm talking about, but there's even like whores that are like, there's this nice thing about them, but they're just like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But then there's like, the other shit is fucked up, and that's fucked up enough to where they're not girlfriend material, wife material. But that's the same case with even like some genuinely nice girls. Not saying they're whores, but they're like, they're leaning in that direction. You know what I'm saying? But
This is the way.
so basically, I like how you got that one though.
We got a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, we got some good shit on there.
So basically, what I'm saying is just like what I'm trying to say is like that person, because you can be like, oh, this one girl, she's fucking clearly this type of way, so ain't nothing wrong with me. You know, she's just screwed up, so I'm not. But there's other ones that are like kind of nice in many aspects, but there is something wrong with them.
Yeah.
So, but you're thinking just because you're like a good dude or you're whatever, that like and then they stop being attracted to you, whatever, like you think like, dang, like something's up with me. But going overseas, like even helped me see that, like, nah, they're just screwed up in their own way and traumatized in their own. And it's funny because I literally, after I came back, it's like, maybe it's God, I don't know, I'm not trying to get too in, but I did like a ride and it was like a psychologist that I picked up. She basically paid me to give me a session, you know what I'm saying? Because
nice.
I picked up. She was telling me about, so she was talking about like how like certain things that are like that occur, like, like they're based off of like what you want, what you think is normal. She was talking about like, because there's some girls, for example, where it's like, all right,
Like that's what you're saying, where it's like whatever.
even though she's a good person,
yeah.
and you can tell she connects
Society
with you,
has,
but she's like, I need this type of dude.
yeah.
So people will look at me strange or not.
If I don't do what is expected or what I think people expect of me, I'm fucked up.
So it's just all this quick. But then the thing is, she was saying is like that, the you wanting what thing you think is normal is what applies to the girls that haven't even been traumatized yet. Like a young girl who's like literally, like she could be like a virgin, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so because I'm saying this because a lot of girls that I've like dealt with or talked to, had encounters with, it's like, oh, I'm traumatized. Like I'm 27 and I've been through this.
Yeah,
so that's why. This I'm talking about a girl that's not even traumatized yet.
Yeah.
But why is she going that direction, or why is she gonna let this type of dude take her virginity or whatever? It's because you wanting what you think is normal, and then you wanting what you think is normal ends up getting you traumatized, and it's just like a screwed up roller coaster. But because again, like when we're dealing with like an older girl, like, and at that point, it's like, is their fault and isn't their fault at the same time?
Yeah,
because it's like they probably didn't know it was gonna do this to them. But then at the same time, it was their choice. It's like a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, what I'm saying is that's her point of
deep as shit.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah,
this is the podcast we needed. Yeah, like, where did this come from?
First of all, fuck you.
No, first of all, fuck you. All right, please
touche.
continue, Hamza. Yeah.
No, but listen. But what I'm saying is though, I don't mean to go into this.
No. Please
But
continue.
what I'm saying though, y'all, is basically like her point was you want what you think is normal, and that it determines a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, it can seem like no harm, no foul, or it can seem like, but it goes into a lot. And it kind of makes you respect, because, like, I'm definitely for, like, progressive. I'm definitely for, like, a lot of, like, the ideas we have in this country and stuff. But it makes you respect a lot of things, because, like, when I went back there.
You sitting in my brain or something.
Yeah, because it makes you going over there, right? Another thing, like, because technically Norway is Western society, but it's not like UK, Canada, like directly.
Yeah.
It's still like different. Scandinavia. It's not like the big Western countries like
Norse.
France. Yeah, it's not like everyone looks like a metrosexual Thor.
Yeah,
there, man.
I know.
Handsome.
What's the Drago from fucking?
But I didn't know they were gonna be. It kind of like I needed a reminder that they're the Vikings, because when I got there, for some reason I was shocked that they were husky. Like I knew Norwegians were like tall and blonde, but I was like, wow, a lot of these dudes are like, could be fucking naturally powerlifters or something. And some of them did work out, but I'm sure a lot of them just were naturally built like that. But I was like, damn, like, then I was like, duh, these were the Vikings. So of course
it's the food too.
Duh.
But supposedly, it wasn't true that they were
that big.
Yeah,
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
I mean, but I saw some guys that were pretty big. There are a lot of tall.
No, I'm sure there are. Like,
there were tall, slim guys, but there were a lot of like.
Plus, the only people that's gonna make it in that type of environment, the only beings that are gonna make it in that type, it will survive throughout time, are the strongest and the healthiest. So that's what ended up being there. They ended up being tall. I don't know what the reason for being tall is, but strong is obviously because you're fucking dealing with snow and all that shit, and then the pale features just because they don't get a lot of sunlight, so they gotta absorb the vitamin D however they can.
Yeah, but just going there. And then going even more.
Still gonna throw science in there.
Yeah.
Science. But going even more in that direction, like obviously even more conservative places like Ethiopia, right? And you find like they got clubs there, they got like, promiscuous women there, everything. But it's just like they're the minority. And then like it just makes you respect like more reserved women, like more like then I've grown up. It's not like because I have in my family there's like a lot of women like that, but like I've also like. Because growing up in America, you know what I'm saying? You're also like, man, that's a little bit too much or whatever. But you see the effect on like an adult. It makes you respect like that, and you see there's like a deeper reason to even why like women, like why people believe in that to a bigger, you know what I'm trying to say?
That
It makes you understand it a lot more. And I always did understand because I got in my family, that's like a big thing. You know, I can't keep track of my whole family. I hope, you know, some of the, but at least I know the direct girls ain't doing nothing crazy. But, you know, I got cousins, distant cousins. I pray they're not. But you don't know. You can't keep track of everybody.
Yeah,
that reminds me of
the direct ones. I'm happy you are. You know what I'm saying?
A TikTok that I was watching earlier today. Actually, it was a two-parter. Like, because the guy, he wrote a comment or a post, and it was talking about how he was asking this person if he should get divorced from his wife after 20 years. He's like 43 and they've been married for 20 years. Because he found out that while they were, so they went to high school. They were high school sweethearts, went to separate colleges for like 2 years. And then during that time, he found out later, like 20 years later, that during that time when they were supposed to be exclusive, but they were long distance, that she had banged like 10 plus dudes.
Damn.
And he found this out through her college buddies at a dinner that they were out at. And one of the friends was like, yo, you might need to be honest with your wife, because I don't think you're getting the full truth of what happened. So
you're saying that he needed to be, or she needed to be?
He needed to ask his wife.
Oh, be like straightforward with it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. That's
and so tough, he like, I guess he was getting all this hate from all these, not hate, but like people were saying, oh, you shouldn't get divorced, you should try it out. But and then people were saying that it was normal for that to happen. It's like, hold up, that's not normal.
It's not normal.
You guys agreed upon you're not gonna fucking go out. And then she got mad if he would go out to hang out with other friends of his.
Man, and that's the craziest part.
It's like, how you gonna fucking do that while you out here fucking with 3 or 4 dicks in your mouth?
That's crazy,
you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. But I mean, again, that's the whole thing, is like it makes you respect. I think the best way to put it is like you understand those aspects, and then I respect the tether of that type of stuff, to where it's like, all right.
But the thing is, she never took accountability, even up towards when they because I guess when they told their kids are like 19 and 17. Yeah. So they're older. Yeah. They're older. Man. So then the son, who's 19, asked them when they told them they were getting divorced. He was like, "Well, did you cheat on mom?" And she had to fess up at that point, like, "No, it was me in high school, this and that." That was the only time when they were telling their kids about them getting divorced after 20 fucking years that she took accountability for the shit that she did years ago.
That's crazy, man.
It was a wild ass story. I was like, I don't normally watch shit like this on TikTok, but this shit is some interesting shit.
You gotta be careful.
Jared fell down into the hole.
Oh no, I was in there,
glued to the
There's a bunch of shit, bro. TikTok got me in the rabbit hole lately.
Since we're on it, what do you think and I think everything we've spoken to especially you up until this point, do you think a lot of this has to do with the availability of social media?
No, so for sure, because the other thing that's even kind of interesting too is like, obviously, like in the Western world, in America, like this is the most like like in the terms of like these kind of things, like it's more common in America, right? But funny thing about that is, even if you go back to like the 70s and 80s and stuff, like it was like these things were even like a bigger deal. Like, you know how like now, like I'm saying in America,
these things as in what?
As in like just like even like a girl doing something like that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like it was like, oh my God, I can't believe you. Versus now it's like, girl, I just did because I got to, or I think, whatever. It's like a more of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nowadays, like it's like, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want just because I'm a person and I'm.
And social media, the standard, or feeling like you're. Obviously, there's the validation wanting to. There's that. Then there's feeling like, oh, I can do better, or I'm selling myself short by connecting, or this person's not good enough because they're not this kind of person. All that is amplified. And one thing that actually I'm gonna keep referring to Uber rides, I guess, because
that's what you know.
Yeah, it's what I know. But there was a dude who said this. One older guy, he was telling me, he was like, see, one thing that you should really think about that's different from this generation. There's so many things that's different. One thing you should really think about. This comes to like so many factors, but obviously when we're talking about promiscuity and all that stuff like that, but like so many factors. He was saying, see, back in the day, someone would watch something on TV, watch a little program. You know what I'm saying? Like it's on at 8:30. You watch it for 30 minutes,
and then it's gone.
It's gone. That you got that one emotion from that newscast or that thing, and boom, you get on your phone. That's 1,000 emotions. Like, oh, that girl can't get her. Oh, damn, I gotta come up in comedy. Boom, I need this nice car. That's 1,000 feelings on your heart. Like you don't even realize it. I only realize it when
that come up in comedy one is real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I only even notice it because it's happening constantly. I only notice it when it gives me like a heavy feeling. But there's slighter ones that are constant as you're going through your reel. Boom, 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 boom. Like sad, happy, excited, anxious, sad. That was like that one thing. And it might not even have an agenda behind it. It could or it couldn't, but it was one thing. Now it's like some are just news. Some have like an agenda. They want you to buy product.
Or fucking
want to make you
1,000 clips of fucking Club Shay Shay.
Yeah. All of it. That's like not even healthy.
Yeah, no,
like,
I know.
It's so unhealthy for you. But I'm saying like that's like one example. So imagine being like some, like just anybody. Like you're trying to come up in life or trying to do this, or you're some girl and you're like, dang, kind of like this dude a little bit, but he's kind of like different. Or whatever, but I kind of like him though. Then, boom, but I see this and like all girls like toxic dudes, and if I'm not don't have this, I'm not normal.
Or he has an
also,
ick,
and he has an ick, or he's not, or all these reels about someone being 6'5". Then also, he's not like he doesn't have any felonies, or like that means he's not masculine. It's like all this shit. It's crazy. It's twisted. It's twisted.
If the chick thinks like that, I don't want her in.
But I'm saying you'd be surprised how many like.
May the power of Christ compel.
Yeah. But I'm saying that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like
I am smart.
You don't realize how like I'm saying that even type of chick could be nice in so many aspects. Like you don't even understand that first, or that like she is deeply fucked up. So meaning everything she's doing is like just a projection of like
of what she thinks that everybody else
dealing
wants.
with, or what she but it's like you will feel like because there's so many people like that, and also there's genuinely dope things about the person. Mm-hmm. So you're like, well, she's not a total piece of shit like those other girls, so her not liking me because I'm this means I'm a piece. Nah, it just means like she's also screwed up. Just like back that thing, you want what you think is normal.
Yeah.
Because that girl that psychologist was telling me like it could be someone that grew up privileged. It could be anything, but it's like if they want what they think is normal, it's like
I want to kind of balance this out too. What we're talking about, we're talking about the female side of it, but this also applies to guys.
Yeah, for sure. Because no doubt. We're just speaking from a male perspective, but
but because as you're saying stuff, it's like
it can sound like I know what you're saying.
It could still be the same way in my own brain when I'm dealing with somebody. They could be on the up and up, and because I'm thinking a certain way.
No, for sure. That's what my bad. I just was using the examples.
No, I just want to clarify for the audience.
You're 100% right. When I just said that, I just meant like just a male perspective. But you're right, because that's literally actually what will cause a spiral, because it caused spiral because it'll be like, all right, like I'm a really nice girl, and then this dude that I like, but he wants like a girl with their ass out and all this type of stuff. So I'm not like this. I'm not good enough. I got to start being this way. And boom, now she's like that. You know what I'm saying? And if she was chill, and if he was just like, well, I don't need her to, she's cool and she's cute. Like, I don't need her to be this type of way or have this type of attitude or have this type of body or whatever. Like, I just genuinely. But
you fuck with him.
No, that's not to say I ain't got boundaries now.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like if you like connect with the person, like you said, you fuck with them, but then it's like you're overlooking that, so that can make the girl feel really small too as a person. And then now she's doing like, you'd be surprised like when you hear about even some girls, like I'm like, yo, she's amazing. Why the fuck did she get implants? She's so pretty, but it's like she felt.
Oh, that was
because she felt small. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, not no pun intended. Like not her.
That was intended.
She felt
that was 100% intended.
You know what I'm saying?
Give him the drum.
That's too far away.
Oh, it's too far away.
It's too far. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Though? It's like you now. It causes like a cycle, and I've seen it. From like you said, both sides. Like dudes would be like, "Damn, this is all." The girls like, "So I got to start being this way." Then the girls like, "This is what all out of it is." guys like. So I gotta start being. It's a screwed up. It's a vicious cycle.
All right, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
'Cause
man.
we're going in a vicious cycle, but we need to talk about some entertainment stuff right now.
Yeah,
We
man.
do this. It's a segment we do every week.
Yeah,
man.
it's the
It's called the entertainment beaker because
it's a container
Yeah. We're in it right now.
that's way too long.
of entertainment.
Jesus
there we go.
Christ.
He was a fat Faison liar.
Well, I was letting it build up. So, what's going on with the entertainment? What are you watching, man? What are you watching?
I just watched fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't finish the very last movie. The entire series I just watched again.
Is this your again? Okay,
No, it's
so-
not my first time.
Oh, okay, I
What
was
the
good.
fuck kind of dumbass question is that?
It's actually, I didn't know you were a fan.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I
You
just,
said
I don't know.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, no, I'm a
I
fan.
lost track, but I would like the first like.
The first three were amazing. The fourth one was okay. I'm in the middle of the fifth one now. Man, and I saw it before. I just, I like the originals better.
Yeah, no, for sure. Those were.
Those are
I agree.
beasts.
I
Good shows.
agree.
The soundtrack was good. Not the soundtrack. The soundtrack was good.
Johnny Depp. Shout out Johnny Depp.
This is what I was thinking about it. Johnny Depp was good, and I know they were trying to tote him as like the best person, or like Jack Sparrow is the guy. The best actor in that movie is fucking the guy who plays Hector Barbosa.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Who's that? Which one?
He's the one that was in charge of the Black Pearl before Jack Sparrow got back there.
the first movie. So the first.
Yeah,
movie,
the first three
of
movies. He's in all of them. He's the one that really sounds like a pirate.
Okay, no, he was a dude like he was with the original Black Pearl. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
And then he
was the captain,
Yeah,
and
he's the
then
captain.
Jack Sparrow tried to come back in, and yeah. So yeah, he was hands down, because that's what, when I think of a pirate, that's what I fucking think about. That
Yeah.
guy. And then even in the later ones, he lost his leg, and then he's got a peg leg. He's got he looks like Captain Crunch.
Want to
Basically.
hear a fun fact? Fun fact.
What's that?
Johnny Depp's character, like Jack Sparrow, the mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
You know how he acts in the movie. He was imitating Keith Richards.
The singer.
Yeah,
Wasn't Keith
no,
Richards?
he's Rolling Stones.
Yeah, but he was in the third one, wasn't he?
Yeah, he played his dad.
Yeah, he played.
Oh,
He was
okay.
in the
Played his
fourth
dad.
one too.
Okay,
yeah.
but his mannerisms.
He got that from him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes
like
sense.
the-
That's why
the
he
actual
calls him
person.
dad in the well, he is his dad
In the movies.
in
yeah.
the movies.
Yeah.
Is his
But I
dad.
don't. So in the movie, was he playing?
He's
like,
playing his dad.
Was he
Yeah.
playing himself though? Was he acting like himself?
I mean, I haven't seen it in a while.
No.
So he's got a small role in it. It's not.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But I
it's
mean, like all of you know, how even kind of like that,
Not so much the
How he
drunken
was, like-
drunken look, but
all that, like the original. I don't know. Yeah, just how Keith
it's
Richards
close.
acts in real life.
It's
is what I
close.
mean.
It's close.
That's what I mean to say.
It's close enough. I don't think
Yeah.
they wanted to make it exact, and Johnny Depp's probably is more exaggerated than
Exactly. Yeah.
than
Then
what it is.
actually, yeah, which is yeah.
But yeah, it's good. There was one other fun fact about it that I didn't know, because at the end when I saw the credits, it was like based on the Pirates of the Caribbean, Walt Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm like, there was a book on this shit? I was like, no, there's no book. The Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride or a part of the attraction at Disneyland, which was one of the last attractions that Walt Disney himself worked on.
Oh,
So it's
so
like-
he had the whole theme and all that
Yeah.
junk with it versus like I got you.
Yeah, so then they just wrote the movies
Expanded it.
from that.
Man, that's crazy.
I
I
didn't know that shit. I was like, where did this idea come from? Well, this is actually Walt Disney's fucking brainchild.
Well, okay, yeah. I
That's,
always imagine.
That's
yeah.
pretty dope. No, I am a fan of the movies. I just and I don't know. I'm not saying that you wouldn't like them, but the fact that you like them.
I like
is
cool
cool.
shit, bro.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
surprises you. It surprises
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You know,
I don't know why. I
It's
don't know
funny
why.
y'all are saying that because I just was trying to watch it. I haven't seen it in a while, but you know, Lion King is actually one of the first, like, actually written by Disney, because like most of the movies are like based off of like old folklore, fairy tales or something.
You mean when you say written by, you mean Disney the company?
Like by Disney, because you know, like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's like some old story. You know, that's
Is
not
it?
from Disney.
Yeah, it's like a fable. I
Yeah,
believe.
it's
It's
not-
it's like
it's
some
like-
old fable.
It's old, like all of them, like even Peter Pan.
What about Fantasia?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, but
Fantasia-
Fantasia, isn't that like a musical, like
It's
extravaganza?
actually just music, but it's still animation because back in the
Okay.
day, that's what they were known for, is animation.
Because even like Jungle Book, all of them, there's all like some
Yeah, I do remember like Tarzan, and basically it's based off of.
older stories. Is
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. But Lion
What about
King,
Chippendale?
Oh, I like Chippendale, dude.
well,
Yeah.
now we going. I don't know, man. That's a good question.
Oh wait,
but,
what was the name? Was the name of the movie Chippendale?
But the Lion King 2 was like actually one of the really, really good sequels.
2? Lion King 2?
There was
Yeah.
Simba's Pride. Yeah,
Simba's Pride, yeah.
The cartoon one, or
The cartoon one.
oh,
yeah,
not that
yeah,
fucking live action bullshit.
I never saw it. So was it not worth watching?
No,
Damn, we've been talking. I actually gotta go. See.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Damn, man, I feel like I could
I'm-
definitely do a part 2.
I'm
yo.
keeping track of the time.
I could
Yeah.
definitely do a part 2, yo.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Um,
everybody's invited back. Well,
yeah.
unless they're just shitty fucking guests.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna use the
And
bathroom real quick.
we've had some of those. Oh well, let us close out, and then
Yeah.
we could just do that. So,
All right.
Yeah, I
So-
just got so much. It's dope. We covered a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
we did
bro.
cover a lot.
Yeah,
wanna
no,
talk
no,
about
but,
more stuff, though,
Yeah,
you know
no,
what
but
I'm saying?
Hamza, thanks for coming over, man. You're always welcome to come over and
thank
shoot
both
the
of
shit
y'all,
with us.
man.
Of
Thank
course,
both of y'all, man.
absolutely. And thank you guys for joining us every Saturday live here on Twitch, and catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. That is Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff.
What up, Phobia? What up,
please-
Epic? What up, Ghost Ship? Sorry, guys.
Please,
Yeah.
please, check
Anywhere
out.
you get your
Oh yeah. Let them.
Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
just sort of like a mixtape. It's not really like a full-on special, but you know what I'm saying? It's just a good 24 minutes. Just shows what I can do. It's a longer set I did on my birthday a couple months ago.
Where can they find it at?
Just find it on my YouTube channel. Just type in my name, HAMZA, and last name Aberra, ABERRA, and same thing on Instagram, HAMZA, ABERRA, no space, and yeah, check it out. Thank you so much.
All right, no, thank you.
Also,
Hamza.
check out my Instagram, Jared Leigh Comedy, JARED LEIGH Comedy, and TikTok. Same thing on TikTok. Go like my stories, and not my stories. I put a couple funny little skits that I did up recently, so check those out.
Woo.
All right, and check us out every Saturday. So we'll see you guys next week. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
RJ has nothing to plug. Hi, goodbye, guys.
Butt my butt.
Oh.
You so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, ever, ever,
Yeah, man, that was-
ever, ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
The merit scientist